welcome to the national news.
The country was divided on election day as the Democrats win the House of Representatives and the Republicans retain control of the Senate. The Democrats with a near landslide victory over the Republicans as they tally up a total of 234 versus the Republicans 200. Now I don't know about you, but I was pretty surprised to see that the Democrats won because when you look at the map provided, you can see the red indicating the Republican Party covering almost 3/4 of the United States.
Yeah, I was a little bit surprised, but you gotta look at the facts. The major cities are heavily populated with Democrats, and those Democrats usually go out and vote. For example, New York City makes up 40% of the state's population. I think if Republican supports actually took the time to vote, then they could easily have won the House of Representatives.
Also in the news, 6 out of 10 Americans disapprove of the job Donald Trump is doing as president.
According to the Gallup poll, only 38% approve of the president. Barack Obama averaged a 45% approval rate and never went below 40%.
These Gallup polls are conducted every week, and the Donald Trump approval rate has moved between 35% and 45% since he became president. Trump's approval rate below 40% isn't the lowest in history of the presidency.
George W. Bush hit a staggering low at 31% in the years following Hurricane Katrina, and his disapproval rating was 65%, 5 points higher than Donald Trump's. So there's still a hope for Donald Trump.
There definitely is, but it creates a big old question mark if he gets Dozens of migrants arrested after crossing the U.S.-Mexico border.
The migrants have spent weeks hiking across Mexico to get to the United States.
It is being reported by Mexican authorities that these Mexicans will never touch U.S. soil.
Roughly 500 migrants overwhelmed police blockades on the Mexican side, forcing closure of the San Diego border.
69 migrants have already been arrested for illegally crossing the border. Tijuana police have arrested 39 people Sunday for trying to illegally rush across the border.
President Trump made a bold claim saying he would permanently close the border if the need to be. He also said Mexico should move the flag waving migrants who are mostly stone-cold criminals.
U.S. authorities used tear gas to back the large groups of migrants up. Many families and young children were seen running and screaming in pain. However, it is reported that some migrants were throwing objects at detainees.
Mexico is preparing to get a new government soon. This new government will take action to help relations between migrants and the U.S.
Citizens of Tijuana will not pay for these migrants. Migrants won't be provided food or shelter by Tijuana. The Mexican government is planning on giving these migrants needed resources.
Also in the news, Trump's ex-attorney Michael Cohen finds himself in more trouble. President Donald Trump spoke with his former attorney Michael Cohen more extensively about the proposed Trump Tower project in Moscow.
Cohen pleaded guilty to making false statements to Congress about the Russia investigation. The Cohen investigations are significant because they appear to show Trump was engaged in business decisions with Russia before election. It is being said that Moscow helped elect.
In court, Mueller's office said, in truth and in fact, and as Cohen well knew, Cohen's representations about the Moscow project he made were false and misleading. Mueller's court also said the statements Cohen made were false.
Cohen replied saying, I made these statements to be consistent and loyal to the individuals. Cohen also once stated he would take a bullet for Trump.
Cohen has been in a pool of trouble lately. Earlier this year, he pleaded guilty to 8 counts in a separate case.
Cohen has not yet been charged and is waiting trial for both cases set for December 2nd.
Good morning.
What are you doing?
Okay.
Turn around. Okay. Dozens of migrants.
I got eyes in the back of my head, dude.
Dozens of migrants arrested after crossing.
You said tell me something sad.
Also in the news, Ethan's dog died. And
Yo, his dog got shot by your family.
Okay, let's go do it. We're not
It's not my fault saying it's sturdy.
trying to turn it around.
why don't you just hold it? So
Oh, that's a good angle. That's a good angle. No, it's not. You had it. No.
Just have me do it. Put it back here because it's steady like this. Trust me.
it's gonna flip. It's gonna make sense.
It's not gonna flip it, trust me.
Yeah, it is.